Hi and welcome to this webinar, the first Forever Talks for this year. Today we're going to listen to Sapphire Manager Ragnhild Dahle, who will give us her tips about how to make a plan for 2018 with focus on you and your goals. So, a very warm welcome to Ragnhild.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me. The sound is on perfect. So Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you have had a great start for 2018. I have. So yeah, let's just get to it. I'm going to talk about how to make a plan for 2018 with a focus on you and your own goals, and mainly, of course, then in Forever. This is me. My name is, as you know, Ragnhild Dahle. I'm 35 years old. I'm an educated teacher, never started working as a teacher because 12 years ago I got a lips from a friend, and things started from there. I'm a mother. In the picture you can see me and my daughter, Julie. She's 7, and the biggest why I have in Forever. I love people, I love animals, I love food, I love to eat. And of course, when you love food and you love to eat, you have to be a bit interested in health and what it actually does to your body. And I love to travel. So Forever for me is just the perfect place to be on many different levels. 2018 is my 12th year in Forever. I've reached the position of Sapphire Manager, and I've actually worked 7 years full-time with Forever. So that was a little bit about me. I would like to ask you a question, and that is, imagine if you could watch a trailer of your 2018. What would it look like? Who would be in it? What would the highlights be? What would happen? How will it end? So if you can create your own 2018, what would it look like? And if we bring this into Forever and everything you can achieve in Forever, would it be a new position on the marketing plan? Would you reach a higher level, maybe a new pin? Would it be to join the 5cc club for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year, for several years? Would it be to be a part of Key Scandinavia? Maybe it's to reach the Forever to Drive, to get some extra spending money from Forever, to invest in maybe a car. Maybe it's the Eagle Manager, or maybe the chairman's bonus, or maybe it's a certain amount of case credits that you want to reach that will bring you to Global Rally next year. So if you could watch a trailer of your Forever 2018, what would it look like? And of course, to do this, you need to have a goal. You can, of course, choose if you want to have a goal or not, but I would really recommend you to do this. And why? Well, as you can see in this quote, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. It's okay to move the limit of when you reach the goal, but you shouldn't move that you will reach the goal. So set a goal, decide what you want to do, and I will give you some examples in this presentation. So just join me. I will walk you through 5 different steps. The first thing is, it's all about you. You have to decide. The second thing is that you should know the marketing plan, the business, the Forever, what you can achieve. It's a good thing to know the products. and be a product of the product. And then find your way of how to do this. And then, of course, plan it and take action. And I will show you, even with my own examples and my own results later in this presentation. So the first thing is you. You have to decide. Not your sponsor, not your upline, not anybody else, but you. Because the key to finding what you want is knowing what you want. You need to know where you're going, what is it that you want, and why. And remember that you are you and you are unique. Stop comparing yourself to others. We have all different backgrounds. We are different, so you shouldn't compare yourself to anybody else. You can learn from other people, but you shouldn't compare yourself. I really, really like this quote on the left that says, "Success is not a competition with the world, it's a competition with yourself. When you can sit down in your own silence and feel truly amazing about yourself, you've won." So remember that. So stop comparing yourself to others. I did this the first years and forever. I really compared myself to my upline, which is Sara Grødem Pedosof. And she is much better of being her than I am. So stop comparing yourself to others. Figure out who you are, because you define what is important to you by what you dedicate your time to. So what is important to you? You should really write this down and make a list of this. So what is important to you? What are your values? What makes you laugh? What gets you going? What makes your heart sing? What are you good at? What do you want to be better at? Because what we do is we say, what am I good at? And we maybe list up one thing. And then we go, well, what am I not good at? And then we can write pages up and down of things we're not good at. But that doesn't mean that you want to be better at that. And we just keep bringing yourself down. So stop telling yourself what you're not good at and try to think, what do I want to be better at? Because that's an uplifting thought. What do you want? What are your goals? What are your dreams? And what's your why? If it's going to be, it's up to me. It's all up to me if I'm going to reach my goals. If it's a new pin, if it's a new position on the marketing plan, if it's to be a part of the 5cc group club, if it's to be a part of Key, if it's to reach the Earn to Drive, if it's Eagle, Global Rally, or Chairman's Bonus, everything is up to me. I'm the only one who can do something about this to reach my goals. Of course, you can have support from your team, from your upline, but it's up to me. It's up to you. So, number 2, the marketing plan. It would be a good idea to learn a little bit about the marketing plan. So go to every meeting you can, because they will show you there. Talk to your upline, and of course, look at the homepage. How do you want to work? On the left side, I've listed up being a retailer or a newest customer. If your goal is to only have customers and do sales, then this is a great position to be at. But you do 100% of the work yourself. But if you want to move up and become a leader, you need a team. And I will show you more about this as well. But these are the 2 different ways that we work. We use the product, we share the products, we talk about the business, and we share the opportunities. The marketing plan, of course, this is it, and it just keeps going up. I really like that everybody starts at the same level. I'm sorry, this is my dog barking. You start at as a newest customer, and then you move up to assistant supervisor. What does it take to bring you up to assistant supervisor? How many case credits do you need? What does it take to get you to supervisor, to assistant manager, to manager, and so on? Learn this and learn the marketing plan. And also the incentives, the rules of the incentives. I'm not going to take you through this now, but it's all on the homepage. It's all on the website, and of course you can speak to your upline and manager as well to know the rules of what does it take to qualify for these incentives. So I'm asking you again, what will you celebrate on New Year's Eve 2019? What will you share to, and how will your new year next year be? The third thing is, of course, to know about the products. You don't need to know every little detail about every product in the assortment, but of course, what do we have? What kind of products do we have? Well, we have everyday products that everybody use. We have beauty products. We have nutrition. We have fitness products. We have skincare products. We have all-round products that you can use for everything. We have focus products, and by that I mean the Infinite Anti-Aging. We have the MPD, which is more focused on certain areas. But we have something for everybody. The products we have in our assortments, we have something for absolutely everybody. So make a list of what you use, and some of you may have seen this before, but make a list of what you use every day from the time you get up in the morning until you get to bed late at night. What do you use, and what do you use from forever? And maybe if you don't use, if you use an eye cream and it's not from forever, maybe you should try Forever's Alluring Eyes. Because if you don't try new products, then you can't expect your customers to do it or your team to do it. So make a list. I've done this. This is my list. On the left side, from the Vital 5 and down to the Pro X, you see about 31 different products that I use absolutely every day. On the right column, you see products that I use a week, a month. Of course, there are some products here you don't use everything, like the sunscreen, especially in Norway. But it's about 31 different products a day from the assortment. Of course, as a customer, if I should buy these, it would cost me about 9,500 Norwegian kroner, which is almost a third of the average income in Norway, and I couldn't do that. But since I'm an FBO, I have at least 30%, which takes me down to 6,700. But I'm a manager. I have reached the manager position, so I have 18% as well on top of the 30. So I have 48%, which brings me down to 5,000. And this is good as well, because I've almost cut the price in half. But since I joined the 5cc club, I have 20 to 30 customers that buys products from me every month, and I retail 5cc's. It brings me down to 0. So for me, this is a very good reason to be a part of the 5cc club, because I can finance my own products. I can use the products, 31 products, for free. So make your list. How much did you save by shopping from your own shop? And do you know anyone else who would like to do this? This could be just a thought to get you going to sell the products, because this is what we do. Think about which products you use. What are your favorite products? Make a list of your top 10 favorite products and write down, why are these your favorite products? What is it about them that you like? How does it feel when you use them? For instance, if you use the new Aloe Jojoba shampoo and conditioner, why are these your favorites? And if you can tell the customer, because my hair feels very soft, and when I'm about to comb it, it doesn't get all messed up, and it doesn't hurt when I comb my hair, or on my daughter, it doesn't hurt when I comb her hair. That would be a good reason, and maybe enough reason for somebody to want to try it. So why are these your favorite products, and what does it feel like when you use them, and what about them is it that you like? So make a list of your top 10 products and your top 8, of course, the forever top 8 products, and focus on that. You don't need to focus on all the 200 products that are in the assortment. And how do I sell the products? Of course, by being a product of the product, you have to use it yourself. By doing VIP launches, by doing product launches, bring your upline to this the first 1 or 2 times. By doing the pop or the borrow bags, by just talking to people and recommending the products spontaneously or not spontaneously, by going on stands where you can sell the products and meet people. And what I would really recommend you to do to be more aware and more not afraid of doing a product launch, because some people think that they need to know everything about the products. I did this myself. I had a team get-togethering, and we were about 10 people, and everybody wrote down their top 10 products, and everybody explained why these were their top 10 products. And what happens is that everybody gets different reasons of why another person liked the products. So they get trained in the product, and the one telling about the products just did a product launch. That's what it takes to have a product launch. Just tell people what you like about the product. Doesn't need to be more than that. So do this workshop. I really recommend that. And then, of course, find your way, because there are so many different ways of doing forever, but we all have the same toolbox. If you want to do product launches, or if you really don't want to do product launches, I love to do it. I didn't at first. I thought it was something for my aunt to do. I really didn't think that product launch was something I would like to do, but now I love it. And I actually had one yesterday for a new FBO, and it just went amazing. And we focused on the top 8 products. And yeah, it was a very good evening. And it, of course, it's a good start for her as well. But where do I start? Find your tools, find out what you want to do, what are you good at. Don't focus on what you're not good at, focus on what you want to be better at. If you're not good at, for instance, I'm not a blogger. I don't blog about things. And I could tell myself that I don't do it because I'm not good at it. Or I could tell myself that I don't do it because I don't want to do it. I want to do something else. And that's 2 different mindsets. So what do you tell yourself? Find out what you want to do, find your tool, and focus on that. And figure out what you want to do. Back to figure out your goal. What is your goal? What is your overall goal? It could be a certain amount of money that you want to make in the month or a year. How can Forever bring you closer to your goal? How can Forever as a tool bring you closer? What needs to be done? So what are the rules? What needs to be done? How do I qualify for this? And what and who can challenge me? Because if you know that there can be challenges, then it's so much easier to overcome them. I tell my new FBOs that, of course, you will experience that people say no. A lot of people will say no. You will get more no's than you will get yes. And when they are aware of this, then they handle it so much better than if they are prepared of going out and talking to people and everybody will say yes, and then they just experience no, no, no. So it's so much better to be aware of what can challenge me. But what are your tools? How can you overcome your challenges? We have a website, we have an upline, we have a sponsor, we have a team, we have family, we have friends. We have a lot of good tools that can help us. And then, of course, when you have your overall goal, break it down. Break it down into small bits and pieces. For instance, if Eagle Manager, if a stable income is your goal, your overall goal, then of course go for the Eagle program, because that represents something stable. If Eagle Manager is if something is your overall goal, then you need to, of course, know the rules to qualify. You should know the challenges. Which challenges will I meet on the way? What tools do I have to overcome it? And how do I break it down? So any goal can be achieved if you break it down into enough small parts, because Eagle program, if you go to a new FBO and say, oh, you're going to be an Eagle, 720 case credits in a year, and they just think that 2 case credits to start up is just enough, then of course you can scare them. But if you break it down, then they can see that, okay, I can really do this. So this is one example of being an Eagle Manager. 720 case credits, if you divide this in 12 months, because you have a whole year to do this, then it's 60 case credits, which is like a stable manager. So what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to do 5 personal CCs. Okay. Then you have 55 to go. And of course, I need 100 new case credits. Okay. Then if you divide that on 12, then it's 8.33 new CCs a month. Brings me down to 46.67, which is more about 9 to 10 people in my team doing 5 CCs. That's one example. The other example is, okay, I'm going to do 10 CCs because I have a lot of customers and I'm good at selling and retailing products. And I'm going to have 15 new case credits from new FBOs each month, which brings me down to 35 left. And that is about 7 people doing 5 CCs for a year. So this is just examples. Of course, you can put in whatever you want and play with numbers, but this is a good idea to break it down and put your numbers in to see what it would look like. Well, is it hard to do forever? Is it hard to do the Eagle, the chairman's, going supervisor, doing the 5 case credits a month? Well, it's not hard, but you have to do a job. Nothing is impossible. I like this one. Even the word itself says, I'm possible. So by leading by example, people will follow you. And that is also something that I saw in my team when I really started to work a couple of years ago. Okay, I'm going to show you an example. And this can, I will explain for you a little bit what I mean about this. So if we think that in January, you focus on 3 different things, you should book 3 to 4 product launches for yourself because you meet people there, people who can be your customers and potential FBOs. Also, it's easier to show your FBOs how to do a product launch when you do it yourself. You can bring them, you can train them, you can work smart. And this, by doing 3 to 4 different product launches, it should give you about 5 personal CCs. So you and the orange, you're the orange, you have 5 personal CCs in January. Then you invite 2 new people into your business, which is the 2 red. And you help them to start with a minimum of 2 personal CCs because they need products to get started. It could be a top 8 box. Remember the anniversary challenge. And a top 8 box gives your new FBOs about 40 points. So this is a good idea. And then you help your 2 new FBOs to also book 3 to 4 product launches so that they will get their customers and, of course, find potential FBOs. So that's the 3 things you should do in January. And the result is that you have 9 CCs in your team. And this is something a new person can do as well, as much as if you've been in forever for how many years. In February, you do 4 different things. You keep having 3 to 4 product launches yourself, or of course, borrow bags, because you should maintain your 5 CCs. And this is just my example because I work with 5 personal CCs. You can choose whatever you want. But in this example, we use 5. You invite 2 new people into your business, which is dark green and light green. And you help them to start up with 2 CCs, like the reds, the 2 you helped last month. You help them to start with 2 CCs, just like last month. Remember the anniversary challenge. You would like to bring as many people to summer party as possible. Of course, we know that the meeting is good for your business. Now, about your existing new FBOs that you recruited last month. You helped them last month to book about 3 to 4 product launches so that they could easily have 5 personal CCs each in February. So now you help them to invite 2 people into the business and help them to start up with 2 CCs. And it should be a top 8. I recommend this, especially now. And then, of course, do what you did last month. You help your FBOs to book 3 to 4 product launches or borrow bags so that they have customers. And the result is that you have 27 CCs in February, bringing you to supervisor. So what do we do in March? Well, you maintain your personal 5 CCs by following up customers and maybe focus on a couple of product launches or borrow bags, because now you have a few customers. Then help your 2 first FBOs, the red ones, and their team to reach and maintain 5 CCs. And remember, last month you helped them to book product launches and borrow bags. So this should be the result of that. And then you help your green ones, the new ones, to do the same. Book 3 to 4 product launches, invite 2 people into the business, and start up with about 2 CCs. The result, well, you have 53 CCs in March. If you add February's 27, it brings you to 80 CCs and you're an assistant manager. And then the 4th month, maintain 5 personal CCs, follow up customers and borrow bags, product launches, help your team to do the same. Now it's all about following up. The result, well, you have 65 CCs in April, you add March, and then you have 118 CCs. Of course, about 2 months, then you need about 2 more CCs to be a manager. But still, you will become a manager. And how can I say this? Because you only have 118? Well, because we have new rules now, where you can be a manager in 4 months if you do 150 CCs in those 4 months. So if we sum this up, January, 9 CCs, February, 27, March, 53, and April, 65. That's 154 CCs altogether, and now you're a manager. Ta-da! And your business will, of course, be stable. So it's all about duplication. Make a system and let that be your tool. For me, this is my tool. It's all about helping people to reach 5 personal CCs. And I help them to start with a minimum of 2 personal CCs, and then we book product launches. The next month, we do the same with the new FBOs that joins the team, and so on. It's very easy to duplicate. Start up with 2 CCs, book 3 to 4 presentations, product launches, and then you help the new people to do the same. And as I said, I focus on the 5 CCs, but you can of course choose to focus on another number, but just be aware of the power of duplication. I actually love this picture because it almost sums up our whole marketing plan and how the business works in one picture. If you focus on 2, it could be if you focus on recruiting 2 people, it could be having 2 product launches, it could be to have 2 borrow bags, 2 CCs, and so on, and you duplicate that, then you will get 4, and then 8, and then 16. If you do the same, but you choose to do 3 instead, you recruit 3 people, or you have 3 borrow bags or product launches, you will get 9, then 27, and then 81. So you go from 16 to 81, but it's the same job, but it's only 1 more. And then if you choose to do 5 and duplicate that, you get 25, 125, and then 625. Of course, this is up to you, but I know what I focus on. And then, of course, taking action. And I think it's very easy to say, just take action. And a lot of people sit there and they go, yes, I want to take action, but what shall I do? And then I will show you. This is actually, I think it's 2012. It's the first time I did Eagle Manager, and I got a trip to Budapest. And then the qualification went from January to December. And this is my CCs. This is how my business actually looked. January, I had 5 CCs, 5.038. I had no new FBOs, no new CCs, and the total in my team was 22 CCs. I was a senior manager at this time, and I had 22 CCs. In February, I had 5.003. Not enough, not a single CCs over 5. Still, no new FBOs, no new CCs, but my team did, of course, together 38 CCs. And I was furious because nothing happened, and I was supposed to have 60 CCs a minimum, and I was supposed to do at least 8.33 new CCs a month. But sitting on my ass at home, of course, nothing happens. But something happened in March and April. You can see that I had 6 CCs in March, which is 1 more than I actually needed. And I had 1 new FBO, and she started with 3.718 CCs, and that's easy to see because she was the only new FBO I had that month. And then I did 50 CCs. The next month, I had 23 personal CCs. What happened in April? I started doing things myself. I had 3 new FBOs, which did 24 CCs together. And for my first time in my forever life, I passed 100 CCs a month. And what you can see is that by August, my eagle was done. I'd reached eagle, and I still had a few more months to go. But the first month didn't look like that because I only did 22 CCs. How could I know that in September I would go from 22 CCs to 167 CCs? I wouldn't have believed that if anybody told me that. But it's so much that can happen in a year, in half a year, in a month, in a day. But it gets started with you. So what did I do? Well, of course, I had to take responsibility. I had to see that it was up to me. Nothing was going to happen if I didn't do anything. So I had to take action, and I had to start planning, and I had to do that name list, because writing it down, having the name list on paper, handwritten, it's so much more efficient than having the name list in your head or just printing it out. So do the name list. It's your best tool. And I made Forever Time. I looked at it as work instead of something I just did. Every first Saturday a month, there was a meeting. Okay, I go to work every first Saturday a month, because then it's the meeting, and I consider it a job instead of like a hobby. And something happens in your mindset then. I started to call instead of texting. I started to focus in on my own CCs and, of course, recruit, not just waiting for my existing team. I started to give an F about no's. And of course, I started to prioritize meetings and having my own team meetings. Because if it's not a meeting nearby where you live, then, well, create one. If you're 2 people, you can call it a meeting. I started to work with uplines and crosslines and expand my comfort zone, of course, a lot of that, and ask for help. I think that's one of the most difficult things that we do, is to ask for help. We just expect that people will know that we need help, but don't be afraid to ask. I started to ask my friends that, you know what, I really need your help because I'm trying to build up my business and I need you to help me. And then they were like, oh, of course, what do you need me to do? So don't be afraid of asking people to help you. What I did less of was TV and sofa. Procrastinate, which means waiting. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I stopped waiting for my Forever Time to happen. Just magically, somebody would ask me if I had a product. I started to wait for Forever Time to just magically happen. I stopped waiting for my team. I stopped waiting for yes. I stopped waiting for action and made action myself. I stopped having excuses, just my own excuses, but I stopped listening to others' excuses as well. Either you're in or you're out. Yes or no. It's not harder than that. For a short period of time, I had to do less of family and friends time, and of course my own time. So this is actually what I did. So what I would like to ask you is, what does your start look like? How far is it to your goal? How long do you have? How long have you given yourself to reach that goal? And how have you planned to reach your goal? And what motivates you? Because motivation comes from within. You can get inspired by other people. And the best way to get inspired for me is to go to meetings and listening to other people's stories and listening to other people show and tell and share what they have done. But of course, sometimes you can't go to a meeting or you can't make a call, and you need to figure out what motivates you. And for some people, it is to listening to Eric Worre or Tony Robbins and the different kind of coaches, or reading. And for me, it's music. It's all about music. I have different playlists on Spotify, which brings me into a certain amount of mood. And some of you have seen it. I dance, I sing, and I did that last night before going to the product launch. I actually sat and just sung a few songs, and then it was like, okay, I'm good. Now I can go, because you get the energy. So for me, it's about music, but you need to figure out what motivates you. So we've just talked about the 5 steps. We've talked about it's all up to you. You have to decide what you want to do and what your goals are. We've talked about the marketing plan, the products, how to find your own way, and then, of course, plan it and take action. I love this quote saying, be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for it. And then I would just like to finish up by saying, if you could watch a trailer of year 2018, what would it look like? Thank you.
Thank you, Ragnhild, and thank you for sharing your tips with us. And I really liked what you said about imagine a trailer of my own 2018. So I'm going to start working on mine now. And the 5 steps, I think, are very useful to improve your business. So again, thank you, Ragnhild. And thank you, everyone, for listening today. And I hope to meet you all at the gathering this weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.